Have you ever been in a situation where you're giving a presentation in English, you look around the classroom and all you see is serious faces, very grumpy faces? Well, how does that make you feel? It probably makes you feel nervous, makes you feel that you're doing a bad job. But there are some techniques that you can use to get through those difficult situations. My name is Colin. I'm an English teacher in Tokyo. And in these videos, I like to give you tips and advice to help you on your English language journey. So the first thing that you should do in that situation is spend about 30 seconds looking around the room and trying to identify all those grumpy faces. And very quickly, I want you to imagine that there is a big X over their face. Don't look at them. If somebody is not giving you support during your presentation, try to block them from your mind. Instead, I want you to look for the people who are giving you positive feedback. So these could be friends. Hopefully in the class you've got a few friends and maybe they are smiling at you. Maybe they are supporting you, encouraging you. Look for the smilers. Look for your fans who are going to get you through this presentation. Once you've found all your smilers, then what you need to do is jump from one person to the next every 1 second, every 2 seconds. You can't just stare at the same person for the whole time. You've got to look around the room a little bit. And 1 or 2 seconds, I think, is enough. Longer than that and it becomes uncomfortable for the person that you are looking at. It's also a little bit uncomfortable for you. Maximum 2 seconds looking at one person. Jumping around is the technique that you should be doing. Now, sometimes in your presentation, people will disagree with what you say and maybe they will have a very serious face. Maybe their eyes will be a little bit narrow. Their head will go to the side. That's important information as well. So remember that sometimes a person isn't grumpy, they're just really listening to what you're saying and maybe they disagree a little bit with what you're saying. And that's okay. It's a chance for you to perhaps rephrase something, come back and explain it again, and maybe convince them of your point. Now, there's no replacement for hard work in a presentation. You need to make sure that you've done your research, you've planned your presentation well, you've written out your script, you know what you want to say, and you've tried to memorize it as much as you can. The best presentations are always the presentations where people have their head up and they're looking around the room. They're not reading a script. If you're struggling to remember everything, then my advice is get some small pieces of card like this and you're going to write bullet points on here. Not your full script. You're not going to write your script on here in very small writing. You're going to write bullet points. And these are the main points that you want to try to remember, or maybe some difficult information that you have really struggled to memorize. So this is just to help you in those moments where your mind might go a little bit blank. Now notice this is first of all small. It's not an A4 piece of paper. And also it's card. It's not just the normal paper that you would use to write on. The reason is I can hold it comfortably in one hand. It doesn't flop over. Very thin writing paper, if I try to hold it in one hand, it's going to flop. Also, it's going to make a lot of noise. This doesn't make any noise, so it's perfect for a presentation. The last thing I want you to remember is in your presentation class, make sure you support your classmates, okay? When they're presenting, they're looking at your face. So think about what your face is saying to them. As a teacher, very often the students look directly at me. And there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, I'm the one who's giving them their grade, but also I'm the one who is smiling, nodding, encouraging them, because I want all of my students to give the best presentation they can. And you can do the same for your classmates. Support them, encourage them, listen, nod, and give them that positive feedback which will allow them to give the best presentation they can. If you found this video useful, make sure you like and subscribe, share it with a friend, and I will see you in the next one.